Here we go. Can't wait for the kids to come. Hey kids, how are you? I'm going to see if we can get the different camera. Yes, Spotty, we're on a roll now. How are you kids? Good to see you. Well, give me a thumbs up if you had a pretty good day. Give me 2 thumbs up if you had an extraordinary day. And give me a thumb to the side of it. It could go up or down. Or give me a thumbs down if it's just been a hard day. You know, Spotty and I want to tell you, no matter what kind of day you've had, we can always reset. And it's okay to have bad days. It's okay to have great days. And it's okay to have comme ci, comme ça days. Just A-okay days. So let your brain know that when you're sad, it's okay. And there are things that we can do to bring our bodies back to, are you ready for the fancy word? It's, I think, 4 syllables. Homeostasis. Homeostasis. 5 syllables. My goodness. That means bring your body back into balance. And some of the ways that we can continually bring our bodies back into balance is doing intentional movement, practicing stillness, and reading stories. All the above are fantastic. We're going to start by sitting crisscross applesauce for a minute. So find a place to sit. You can bring a stuffy with you. And just sit crisscross applesauce like that. That feels good, doesn't it, Spotsterama? The book we got today, and Spotty hasn't even read this one either. It's all about dragons. Any dragon fans out there? I love a good dragon. I love drawing dragons. I love imagining riding dragons. In fact, I call my 2 dogs dragons. Anyway, this is going to be a dragon story. And if we have time, we'll also read this one. It's a good one by a favorite of mine, an author named Jan Brett. So those are the books that we're thinking about for right now. Let's get our bodies ready, our brains ready, just to listen and be and activate our imagination. Because stories are so fun when we use our imagination. So let's go ahead, see if you can kind of go around the world with me. Go back to the side and to the front, side, back, side, front. You're noticing I'm smiling. You can smile back at me if you want. Do you know that one of the things that we can do when we are not feeling super chipper, we can smile even if we're not feeling it. And there's something about when I smile here, it signals my brain for my nervous systems to settle down and see the good stuff. So let's go the opposite way. And you can smile or not. In fact, try not to smile. It's very hard for me. Try not to smile. And then smile. And then don't smile. And then smile. And then go ahead and take your ears and wiggle them around. Take these 2 fingers and just do a little bit of, I call it tap, tap, tapping around my jaw. A lot of stress and energy hangs out just around our ears. Tap your chin. Chins are pretty funny. Put your chin in the air and tuck your chin down into your chest. Bring your chin in the air. Tuck it down into your chest. Then we're going to take our taps. We're going to bring them right above our forehead. Isn't that kind of fun? Like we're drawing eyebrows on top of our eyebrows. I love it. Exit up, and exhale down. Exit up, and exhale down. Take one hand, say hello to your opposite knee, grab the other hand, turn all around, and see if you can turn your head like an owl, and you get to the farthest point and go, hoo, 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 hoo. And then switch it. Opposite hand on your knee, say hello. Grab this hand, go all the way around to your back. Hoo, 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 hoo. And then come back front and center. Fantastic. I think we're ready, Spotty. So, this book today is by Helen Ward, and it's illustrated by Wayne Anderson. It's called The Dragon Machine. George noticed on his first real dragon. Let me start over. I missed a word, Spotty. George noticed his first real dragon on a Thursday, and the more he looked, the more dragons he saw. Ignored and overlooked, the dragons went unnoticed, just like George. Dragons perched on telephone wires and lurked in trash cans. They chased butterflies through the tulips. They teased the cat. They sank water lilies in the pond. George fed them stale cookies and smelly cheese. Well, I knew dragons liked tacos, but I did not know they liked smelly cheese. And that's when the trouble began. The dragons followed George everywhere. George spent more and more time cleaning up muddy footprints and saying he was sorry for things he had not broken. George's dragons were becoming too troublesome to stay unnoticed for much longer. Something had to be done. George went in search of some advice. Well, that's pretty smart. The dragons followed George to the library. He consulted the Encyclopedia of Dragons. They were dire warnings. Never feed a dragon. Never let a dragon into your home. Too late, thought George. There were also tragic tales of dragons discovered and captured. And when he found a map of the place where the dragons belonged, it was a great wilderness, ignored and overlooked and safe. But when George knew he would have to show them the way, he got nervous. George drew plans from a machine. The machine had a beginning, a middle, and a tail end. It had lots of pipes and pulleys and beautiful strong wings. George hammered in the last nail. He packed cookies and smelly cheese, and he climbed up into the cockpit. His dragon machine lumbered, engine ticking gently into the night sky, and the dragons followed. The machine clicked and whirled over the sleepy town. It rattled and clanked over the moonlit fields and woods. The dragons followed. It clattered and banged and blundered into the great wilderness with a crash. The dragons followed. Oh, George was so tired from his journey that he fell asleep in the wreckage of his own dragon machine. By morning, all the dragons were gone. There was an emptiness all around and inside George. and an emptiness at home where George should have been. His parents searched the town. They searched the fields. They ventured out into the great wilderness, looking for George, and found him among the broken pieces of his dragon machine. George and his dreams of dragons went home. Everyone was happy to see George, and George was happy to be back. He was no longer ignored or overlooked. His parents baked a huge cake to celebrate his return and even gave him a dog as a present. George was the only one who noticed that there was something unusual about his dog. And George loved him all the more. What do you notice in this picture? That's right. A dog with a dragon tail. What about that, Spotstorama? How cool is that? All right, team. Boy, oh boy, when I was reading this story, I had so many ideas of how we're going to move and groove to the theme of dragons. And one other idea I had is, just like the story has a beginning, a middle, and the end, yoga moves have a beginning, a middle, and the end. Did you know that? Did you know that, Spotty? Of course, he knew that. All right, so we're going to think about that as we're doing some of our yoga. We're going to start with, a dragon pose. So just give me a minute. I'm going to make it so that you can see the whole thing really, really well. And dragon poses start kneeling. So kneel on one leg, and I'm going to go to the side so you can see it that way, because you need to see my tail, which is behind, and here's my dragon leg. And I'm going to place one hand on my knee and then my other hand on top of my hand. So stack your hands. And then you're going to inhale, rise up, exhale, let out your fire. And then back down. So what's the beginning of this pose? Just this. Knee, hand, hand. So this is the beginning. The middle is when I inhale and roar. And the end is when I come back down, nice and strong. So with yoga, it's important to move into it with intention and out. So let's try it one more time. And this time, just for grins and giggles, say, what color do you want your fire? My fire is going to be pink with blue polka dots. So one hand on your knee, one hand on your hand. Inhale, breathing. And then land back down. What we do on one side, we must do on the other side. So bring your knees together for a second. Have your knees say hello to each other. And then bring your back leg up. So now your opposite leg is the tail. This is our dragon tail. Okay? This is our dragon leg. And then one hand on my knee, one hand on my hand. This is the beginning of the pose. The second part is the fun part, the middle part. And so inhale, breathing. And then come on back down. Let's try that again. Inhale, stack one hand, inhale, breathing, and come back down slow. You might have noticed that I was a little wiggly on this side because this hip is injured. So when I go into my full pose, I listen to my body to make sure that I'm not overdoing it and hurting myself. Listen first. Move second. That's right. All right, that was really fun. Dragon pose, beginning, middle, and end. And this dragon went on a journey, didn't he? So let's go ahead and do a flowing yoga pose that has a beginning, middle, and an end. So go ahead and stand on your feet. Bring your arms up in the air. That's 1. Look up. That's 2. Bend forward with me. That's 3. Drop your whole body. Bend your knees. That's 4. Look back up.
to me, give me a wave, that's 5. And then drop back down, that's 6. And then inhale, breathing. 7, clap, and then arms down by your side, and that's 8. That was a journey of 8. Would you like to learn a journey of 10? Let's try the same thing over, but I'm going to give you 2 more fancy moves. So we're going to start. Inhale, breathing, that's 1. Look up, that's 2. Rain it on down, that's 3. Smile with me, that's 4. Drop your head, that's 5. Look up at me, that's 6. Bend back down. Now I'm going to bring your hands underneath your toes, and then I want you to try to put your knees in your armpits and then look up. Stretches our whole upper body, and then we're going to bend it down, look down, but our knees are going to straighten. And then we're going to do it one more time. Knees into armpits, looking up at me, and then push your toes into your hands and look down at your knees. Arms and ears are together. Release one hand, release another hand. Turn to the side, and then we're going to go do tabletop. And from tabletop, we are going to be a flying dragon. So inhale, breathing, wings up, wings to the side, wings up. Stand on your knees, wings back, and then float on down into child's pose. And once you're down there, you can close your eyes and picture yourself riding a dragon, breathing in and breathing out. Or you can be in your dragon machine, leading the dragons to safety. Picture yourself. Use your imagination while you're in child's pose. And maybe even name your dragon. Spotty, what's the name of your dragon? Matilda? That's a pretty good name for a dragon. All right, go ahead and sit on your heels, spine loosely straight. Bring one arm up, stretch it up like the letter Y. Other arm like the letter Y. Look up at your fingers, fold your fingers like origami, meet them together and bend back down. Nicely done. Back to child's pose. Fantastic. Now we're going to do something really fun because dragons, well, they have really cool tails. So we're going to play around pretending that we have a tail. And what I want you to do is I want you to pick up one knee and cross it over your other knee. And that's going to be our tail. So we're kind of braiding it. And then we're going to look up, breathe up, bend up. Your knees are crossed over and you're looking up. Hold it here. And then come back to table. Uncross your knees. Now they're side by side. Look at them, give them a little love. And then you're going to take your other knee over, cross it over, and then we're going to bend forward, look forward, stretch forward, look up, hold it. And slowly, just like a spring, it comes back together. And you'll go ahead and sit on your heels. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to stand on our knees, place one hand on one hip, one hand on another hip, and then we're going to look up. Look all the way back. Drop your head back. Now, if you're here and you want to go a little bit further, you can put one hand on one heel, one hand on another heel, and breathe right there. Hold it right there. You got this. And then when we come out, one hand on one hip, one hand on another hip, and then sit back down. That's the end of the pose. Let's do that one more time. That's called camel pose, and is such a good pose. In fact, I try to do camel pose every single day. So stand up on your knees with me. Place one hand on one hip, one hand on another hip. And just to begin, you have these wings here. You're going to bring your wings back towards each other. That opens up your chest. And then you're just going to drop your head back. You can give the ceiling a smile if you want. Now, once you're here, you can go ahead and hand to heel, hand to heel. This is the middle of the pose. This is where it might get a little murky, a little hard, a little bit adventurous. And then when you're ready to get out, this is going to be the end of the pose. One hand on one hip, one hand on the other, and then go ahead and sit back down. That felt really, really good. Bring one leg out and keep one leg in, like the letter L. Do you see that? The letter L for love,
the letter L for listening, the letter L for learning, which is what we're doing together by moving our body together in ways that make our brains and our bodies connect, make our spirit shine. So go ahead and grab your toe any way you can with your peace fingers. And then go ahead and bring your other arm up and over like a rainbow over your head. And just feel your side body, that's this part, open up. And then stretch it back down, stretch your leg back out. Switch up your legs. So now the opposite leg is tucked in, like a backwards letter L. And then you're gonna go ahead and bring your toes together and then bring your arch, your arm over like a rainbow. Feel your side body opening up and then return it. Oh, that feels so good. Let's go ahead and do happy baby next. So go ahead and lay on your back. Feel all of your spine. Sometimes I like to, before I do happy baby, I like to roll side to side because it just gives myself a good back massage. And then go ahead and bring your feet in the air and go ahead and your two peace fingers, that's these guys, you're going to grab your toes, and then you could keep your feet in the air and you're just going to kind of, right here, sometimes I like to close my eyes and pretend I remember when I was a baby. Can you remember when you were a baby? And all the ways you felt safe, in love. And how simple things were. We just ate and slept and ate. And now we're getting older. So now we sleep and then we wake up and eat and we learn and we play and we help other people. Legs straight up, arms straight back. And then let's activate everything. So point your toes and stretch your arms. Activate everything. Point everything. Try to wake everything up in stillness. And then slowly put your feet down. Bring your arms back down by your side. Put your other foot down. And then go ahead and rock and roll up. That is so good. Next we're going to do, well, this is kind of a fun pose. You're going to take one leg and tuck it in, and then bring your other leg over it, okay? Kind of like eagle, if we've done that before. And then you're going to bring your arm across, so my knee is in my armpit, and I'm going to just twist. Just twist. Try to keep this hip down on the ground. Mine was a little bit high. Just twist it over, breathe it over, and slowly release to the end. Bring your other foot in. You're going to take this whole leg and bring it on the opposite side of that knee. That's right. That looks great. And then bring your arm all the way over and look behind you, stretch behind you. Feel this stretch. Feels good. Hold it here. We're in the middle of our pose. And then slowly release. We're at the end of our pose. Just like that. Well, you know, in the very beginning of the book, I did have my ear on, I think they said the dragons were stepping on the tulips. Is that it? Well, I don't know, but somewhere I got it in my mind. Yep, right here. They chase butterflies through the tulips. And I thought, I don't know if I've shown you flower pose yet. This is one of my favorite poses. So you start sitting just like this with your knees close to you. And you're going to tuck one hand under, and then look at these little, my fingers, they're flower petals blooming. Isn't that cool? And so I can look up at the sun and feel the shine. I can look down as the rain is falling on my back. And those flowers are growing. And then slowly come out of the pose. We're at the end. Fantastic. It's like a pretzel. You got to get yourself out of it. It's kind of fun. All right, let's go ahead and sit in the back of where you're going. And then this time I want you to cross your legs over the front. And then what you're going to do, so one knee is stacked on the other knee. And then I'm going to grab my toes, and then I'm going to tuck my head under. And I'm just going to hang out here. A couple interesting things you can do. So you can kind of pull your feet back towards you, and it'll stretch the bottom of your legs. Or you could just pull your body forward and lay your belly on your thighs. Why don't you try it both ways and see which way you like better as you're breathing in and breathing out. Release your hands,
Unstack your legs. That's right, I heard it. You said what we do on one side, we must do on the other side. So that's right. You're going to cross your legs. You're going to bend forward, grab your feet. And then you're going to tuck your head down in by your arms. Your ears are by your shoulders. And then you can play around here. You can pull your toes back towards you if you want to stretch the bottoms of your legs. Or you can use your toes to pull forward and lay your belly on your thighs. Try it both ways. See what feels good to you today. Because after all, we're doing this for you. You're doing this for you. When we practice moving and we practice stillness and we practice even listening to stories together, our body gets back into, are you ready for the big huge word again? 5 syllables. Homeostasis. Gets back into balance. Put your hands on your heart. In fact, let's sit crisscross applesauce. Close your eyes. Hands on your heart. Picture yourself riding your beautiful dragon. It's a fun adventure. It's safe. It's loving. You can even give your dragon a name. And then this last part, your dragon is going to whisper to you how much they love you. So listen and see your dragon telling you, saying your name. Your dragon saying your name and saying, I love you. I love to be with you. I love to play with you and think with you and read with you and sleep with you. I'm your very own imaginary dragon. Breathing in and breathing out. Open your eyes. We're going to end with Savasana. Spotty, do you have a dragon that you have an imaginary dragon? That's right. Still, it's Matilda. Yep. All right. Lie on your back. Toes fall out. Heels kiss together. Arms down by your side. Palms facing up. Breathing in. Your belly goes up. Breathing out. Your belly goes down. Now, picture your dragon laying beside you on its back. Breathing in. And breathing out. One more time. Inhale, dragon belly goes up. Exhale, dragon belly goes down. Feel your relaxed body. See if there's one more muscle that you can relax. Take one more breath. And down. And then when you're ready, use your strong feet and your elbows to push yourself up. Oh my, it has been so much fun to be together today, reading, practicing our stillness, learning big new words like homeostasis. If you want a little simpler word, you can just say balance. Your body's back in balance, and that feels really good. Remember that if you need a little bit of practice each day, we all do, to stretch, move, and groove, you can take any one of these movements or these stillness practices, and you can make it your own. All right? Well, we'll be back next week with another book. Remember Spotty Scotty's story time. We also have Miss Beth's Hearthood, where we move and groove to the heartbeat of our own grooving and moving. And anything else, Spotster? Oh, Spotty wants to say, you know what? Dress warm. It's cold out there in Minnesota anyway, if you're in Minnesota. And make sure you wear a hat. And we miss you. Till next time, remember, kindness rules. And smile makes your spine feel better, and it makes another person's day. See you soon. Thanks to the virtual Y. Thanks to Spotty. We'll be back soon. Ta-ta for now. Woo-hoo. Bye-bye.